The Gifted, Episode 9, outfoX. Now this episode I think is leading into what I believe is going to be the mid-season finale next week, but it was definitely a great episode. I mean, this one was really intense, or I guess no, we got 3 more weeks before Christmas, so I guess we have 2 more episodes this year. But this episode was definitely great. Like, I could have easily seen this as leading into the mid-season finale with how crazy everything got. We got to see the kids actually learning about their lineage as far as powers and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, we get a flashback in the beginning of the episode where we see that they activated their powers for a quick second, 1 year ago. And that's kind of what led Andy down the path of kind of screwing up in school because it was something that he could not let go of. And Lauren was kind of just like, I'm a mutant already. I already knew that. So she, for her, it was probably a bit simpler to just kind of let go. It's like, oh, that was probably a new thing with my power. She probably didn't even think it had anything to do with her brother. So I was like, okay, we get to see that in the beginning of the episode, and they kind of go through. And I like the fact that they, kind of just go through, and it's like, all right, well, we know this history. We now know that there's this ability. So let's check it out. Like, let's make sure, let's have something happen. We eventually train and, get a hold of it. But I thought it was cool when they actually do activate it, and they kind of see through their parents, and they, basically see the structure of everything. Excuse me. And I love the visuals for it because it's almost like everything starts to have like a black and white sort of neon outline, and I thought that was actually really cool how it looked. But they have to like let go of the power in the beginning of the episode, and it's like, oh man, we could have, we would have killed everybody in the building. Like, we could see, and you can push and pull, and we can do whatever we want, just destroy the whole thing. So that was very interesting. I was like, all right, that's a cool concept. I can't wait to see them actually use it. Of course, they got real close at the end there, but it was like, we can't use this power because we're at the they were in the basement, so they would have destroyed everyone. So it was definitely entertaining watching them kind of go through that process in this episode about this new type of power where it's combining their abilities, but then just so much more powerful and immense. So I love that idea. Of course, the main focus of this episode was everyone kind of joining together to kind of pull off this 2-part plan where we have the kids and their parents, and then Blink and Dreamer actually go to like this one facility. They take some stuff down, and then of course we have Marcos, Eclipse, and Thunderbird, and then also the girl, I don't know her, I forgot her name, I forgot how to say it. We have the 4 of them going to the actual Trask Industries facility to rescue all the prisoners. And it was interesting the way this episode played out, because I was like, okay, so we have this girl who is freaking out. It's like, I really want to save my family. We need to go to this building and stuff like that. And they do it super early on, too, to, like, plant the seed in your head with Dreamer, where she was like, how did she even know about Pulse? And it was like, well, she's a mind reader. Like, she probably just picked it up from, from one of her heads or whatever. And I was like, as soon as she said that, I was like, so is she, like, some sort of super secret double agent? Like, they had the plant, the obvious agent, and then they have her where she's not under as much insane control. She's probably, could just be working for them. And I thought that was interesting, but as the episode goes on, she kind of continues to play with them. She messes with Eclipse's mind and gives her that dream. But we do find out, seemingly, at the end, we do find out that she legitimately was just pushing them to find her own family. So I am very curious how that'll play out going into the next episode, because now it's like, all right, well, Dreamer's been captured, Blink was captured, the kids were captured. So it's like absolute pandemonium now. Like, they're losing, pretty much half the main characters. So now they have to kind of figure out, well, how do we really pull this off? They got like the 3 main leaders of the resistance with Thunderbird, Marcos, and Polaris, but now they have this issue of having lost so many people. Of course, Andy and Lauren have been taken, so it's like they have like that weird issue. It's like, all right, well, we need to help the kids and everyone else, but now their parents are here who are totally freaking out, who don't have mutant powers. How that dynamic of fight or flight, and how do we fight in this situation where it's all hands on deck for the Sentinel services and stuff. So it's very interesting. We got to see a new type of Sentinel. Like, they changed up how the legs work and stuff, and they're a bit smarter, so they know how like Andy's powers work. So it's like, okay, well, he's gonna try to rip it from this distance. I'll just move over to this pipe, and it won't actually hit me. It'll hit the thing in front of me. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. It like launches onto Blink. Like, it took her down. For a second, I legitimately thought it might actually kill her, because just the way it was so forceful, where it just like slammed into her and knocked her down. And it basically like covers her up pretty much, like locks her in place. And I was like, that's very interesting. I was like, that got like really intense, really, really fast, and it just got crazier from there. But I love the way it all played out. The characters. It was actually oddly a simple story because it really was like them talking and stuff in the beginning. The little mystery with the girl who's kind of implanting dreams and reading everybody's minds. Like I said, it seemingly turns out to be very simple because she didn't end up doing anything while they were trying to run away to like mess with their minds and force them to stay there or anything. So if that were the case, she probably would have done it because she was fighting against them when they were taken off, and she was screaming and stuff, which probably totally would have got them busted anyway. But it seemed like she wasn't actually trying to do that. Like, she really was doing it for herself to save her family. And in the end, she got more people captured because she was trying to force them into doing this plan by implanting memories and stuff like that. So it was very interesting watching them go through this episode, and it seemed simple enough. Like I said, it was kind of like, all right, do we do this? And then she's reading memories, and then saying the right thing to get people to kind of go along with their idea. And it's like, all right, so we're here, we're at Trask Industries, everybody's all up in there. We're gonna just go ahead, we'll get in there, it'll be great. We just gotta wait for the A-team to do their thing. They get captured, absolute pandemonium, and now they've lost 4 people, and they have no idea how it's gonna play out afterwards. Like, what are they going to do? So I'm certainly looking forward to how that's going to play out in the next episode. I cannot wait to see what they do with this girl who's reading minds, because I feel like she clearly doesn't really give a crap. Like, she gave Eclipse this horrible nightmare. She doesn't really care about how everyone else is feeling. It's like, I just want to get my family, and that's it. Like, that's all that matters to her. And that couldn't even it's like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's one of the situations it seems like they're in right now, where she wants to save her family because it'll save them. It seems save all the prisoners, but really it's save her family, and that has already led to some crappy stuff. And I feel like she's just going to be fighting them, and they'll realize how little she actually cares. And I don't know what that's going to do, because considering she gave Eclipse a nightmare, we don't really know the full extent of her powers. Like, it started off with like, oh, I can kind of read minds, and then she implanted like, she forced her to have a nightmare, and it's like, all right, well, if she can do that when they're asleep, can she use that ability when they're awake to kind of make people see things and stuff like that? Probably to like a small extent control them even. We don't know the full extent of her powers just yet. So I feel like we're gonna get to see her go a little bit crazy in the next episode. It's kind of just building up. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think it should be fairly chaotic. But as far as story progression and everything, it was pretty simple. It was just like, all right, let's do this. Test the power, that works. All right, let's go. Let's do the plan. Plan seemingly works out pretty well. Then it all falls apart, and then it's just absolute chaos and pandemonium. After that, everyone gets captured, and it was just like, man, that really sucks. I thought somebody would escape, and it just did not work. Blink was taken down. Then Dreamer was about to sacrifice herself once again. I thought they were just gonna flat out shoot her, and I was like, I don't know. Are they just gonna shoot her up on the other side of this door? And then of course, the kids I didn't think would die. But they capture them, and it's just like, all right, well, now they're trapped. And we see in the promo, the scientist Campbell wants them to use their powers, and we also see that he has like a scar from the explosion. But he wants them to use their powers, and then he threatens to kill somebody. He does kill somebody, although it's probably just like a random mutant, that we don't know, I'm sure. But he's gonna kind of force them to use their abilities to save other mutants from being, killed in front of them. So that should be interesting, because they don't really have control over this new ability. Like, Andy is gaining control over his power. Like, he showed that he had a bit of, quite a bit of precision in this one when he was trying to take out the little Sentinel. But it's like, all right, well, that's like, we've only seen a few good examples of him truly focusing his abilities. And of course he's gotten better. It's been a couple episodes at this point, so he's, kind of got it down. But this is just like on a whole other level for them, and who knows how that'll play out. But I'm sure there'll be some way that they can either suppress how powerful the ability is, or something. He knows what the power is, so he wouldn't have them use it like right in front of him if there wasn't some insanely secure safety measure or something. So, good episode. They do make a reference to the Hellfire Club, which I thought was really cool. Turns out Andy and Lauren's great-grandparents were a part of the Hellfire Club, so I thought that was interesting. Hellfire Club, X-Men deal with the Hellfire Club and stuff like that. That's where Emma Frost comes from, for, if you want like a better reference. Emma Frost is from the Hellfire Club, that's her thing. But I thought that was cool. I feel like they made another reference, and I just can't remember what it is. I feel like there's another reference that I caught in this episode. But overall, it was definitely a good one. Very excited for the next one. You know, things kind of taking a dip for the heroes. You know, got like 4 people captured, and then we have someone on the inside where she's not exactly working for the villains, but considering her drive to just save her parents and, you know, kind of screw everybody else over, I think it'll just get worse. Even though they've already lost nearly half the team, I feel like it's going to get worse in the next episode because she'll just be like, you know, almost like trying to, you know, force people's mind, almost like Dreamer a little bit, kind of forcing people to forget or making them think something that's not real, or, you know, something like that. So I feel like we'll get to see a little bit more of her power in the next episode. But all in all, I'm definitely excited for it. And of course, the next episode will lead into the mid-season finale. So I think it should be getting, you know, pretty nuts and leading into some more insane stuff. But thought this was really good overall. Excited to see how crazy it does get in these next 2 weeks, you know, and then sadly we have to wait till 2018. But would love to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, least favorite parts about it. And of course, with all these characters being captured, and we have like our main, you know, leaders within the resistance trying to figure out how to save them, I would love to know your theories on how that's going to play out. Because going into next week's episode, it's going to kind of let us know where things are going to be for the mid-season finale, because they could easily escape in the next episode. My personal theory is that they won't. I don't think they'll escape until the mid-season finale, and then they may or may not, I don't know, but they may or may not kill somebody off in the mid-season finale. That would be a crazy way to end it for sure. My bet would be on Dreamer, if I'm being totally honest. If they were to kill anyone off, it would be her, just because of how they clearly categorize the importance of the characters. She's the only character that's technically a main character at this point, but she showed up like 3 episodes in. Like, she had like one scene in the second episode, I think, and then she really started to come in after that. So I was like, if they're gonna take anybody out, it's the person that came in, you know, 3 episodes late. It's not gonna be Blink. It's not gonna be Thunderbird. It's definitely not gonna be either members of our like superpowered couple with Eclipse and Polaris. Obviously, won't be Polaris because not only is she pregnant, but she's also the daughter of Magneto. So, you know, those elements are there. It was like, some characters are safe. I would assume we don't need to worry about any of the Strucker family being killed off. That would be interesting. That would be really crazy. But we'd love to know how you think things are going to play out as far as everyone being in the prison, how they'll get rescued, or how they may not get rescued in the next episode. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.